Bobby Allison at Pocono when he got hurt, and we're happy to report he was the Grand Marshal for today's race down there at Pocono, which had Rusty Wallace sitting on the pole with Dale Earnhardt to his outside. For your information, the Jennerstown Grand National North race last night at Jennerstown, Pennsylvania was won by Bobby Dragon. Our own Joe Bessie finished 6th with Kelly Moore finished 9th, we understand. Also, down in Turn 1, visit the Channel One video booth down there. They got videos of all the races held so far this year. I believe it's $25 each for each of the videos. There's previews of them available to you down there. Next Sunday morning on WMUR TV 9 out of Manchester, New Hampshire, the ABC affiliate, 6:30 in the morning, they'll be showing today's race as a premiere attraction on that. So when you go to bed next Saturday night, set your ECR to tape your own version of today's race. That'll be over Channel 9, WMUR out of Manchester. Also, MUR each and every Sunday morning. Oxford Plains, Bob Walker.
Thank you very much, Jerry Major. First qualifying event, Oxford's NASCAR Winston Late Model Sportsman Division comes off turn 3 behind the Pontiac Grand Prix pace car. Top 6 drivers will qualify for the Oxford Beech Ridge Challenge. And these qualifying events are for 15 laps. Pontiac pace car down on pit road. Up on the front row, Ray Penfold and Kenny Wilkinson. They'll set the pace coming off turn 4. Starter Eddie Walsh drops the green. Let's go! Racing down into turn number 1. Who gets there first? And do they get through turns 1 and 2 in a straight line? Ray Penfold by 1 car length out on top. Down off turn 2 in the backstretch ride. Wilkinson coming up. Jerry Babb stays down on the low side. Timmy Brackett got it loose, gets it back together. Here comes Jerry Babb down on the inside of Kenny Wilkinson in turn 1. Your leader is Ray Penfold, followed by Jerry Babb, then Kenny Wilkinson, Timmy Brackett, Dale Verrill, Billy Penfold, the 88 of Taylor, the 33 of Rod Fry, and Jimmy Field at the back of the fielding car number 21. Sitting on the bubble as Wilkinson is sideways. He gathers it back together, and now a freight train will form up. Remember, it's only 6 to qualify, led by Ray Penfold, Jerry Babb, Timmy Brackett, then Dale Verrill, then Billy Penfold to be 5th. On the bubble, Jeffrey Taylor in car number 88. Zorro gets off the groove. He loses a spot to Billy Penfold. Ray Penfold is on the point off turn 2. Drifts it up to the middle of the backstretch, down on the low side of turn number 3. Jerry Babb's got it almost sideways. Timmy Brackett sticks his nose underneath. Change spots 2 and 3 down into turn number 1. That kicks it up out of the groove. It's going to get away from him one more time. He's trying to bring it back, and he'll go out of the top 6 down the backstretch. Now Rod Fry moves up, and Jimmy Field comes up now. Jerry Babb, who had been running 3rd all the way back out of the top 6. Billy Penfold down underneath Timmy Brackett. They get him sideways for the moment. Ray Penfold, he has been at Beech Ridge before. He knows his way around the Speedway. He shows it with a 5 car length. They get 6 car lengths over Timmy Brackett now as they work off turn 4 one more time. 6 laps are down, 9 to go. Qualifying goes 15. Zorro working up on the outside of Jeff Taylor down the backstretch now. Right now, the Oxford drivers seem to be adapting to the low side of the racetrack better than they do to the top side of the Speedway. Here comes Penfold off turn 4, followed by Brackett, Billy Penfold, Jeff Taylor, then it is Dale Verrill, and then Rod Fry rounding out the top 6. Jimmy Field has picked up a couple of car lengths the last few laps in car number 21. We show it halfway, this time through off turn 4, halfway home for Ray Penfold. Penfold, the VIP charter coach's Oldsmobile, is quickly into turn 3. Then it is Brackett. He's in the Hills RV sponsor Pontiac, the Mack Racing Chevrolet. Billy Penfold trying to take over spot number 2. Verrill still working up on the outside of the racetrack. He stays out there, and Jimmy Field is going to be becoming a contender in this event in a couple of laps if he can pick up the positions he has the last couple of times around. Off turn 4, one more time. Penfold extending his lead over the field at 9 down and 6 to go. Field is now 2 car lengths back from becoming a contender for a qualifying spot. Ray Penfold has added one more car length to his lead out in front as they head one more time smoothly into turn number 1. It's amazing how well the drivers have adapted with their own qualifying series, but we'll see how they match up when the Beech Ridge cars get out there later this afternoon. That will be the interesting part, to see who picks up the necks of Beech Ridge quickest. Penfold looking good with 12 down, and he will 2 laps to go. Popsicle sticks and up with the flagman. Penfold continues to drive ahead of the field. And Jimmy Field is 2 car lengths away from being a contender for Penfold. 13 down and 2 to go. Field coming in closer one more time in car number 21. He has got to get around car number 33. Oh, Penfold gets the bumper hands up. They go around and white flag is up. One more to go. Things will change around here. Down into the turn, Ray Penfold will come home free, and the top 6 have wholesale changes. Penfold will be the winner. Jeffrey Taylor goes second, Rod Fry third, Timmy Brackett fourth, Jerry Babb fifth, and Kenny Wilkinson sixth. And it all changed when they get together over in turn number 3. 1 touch of the bumper, and it all was sideways after that. As he works his way out of turn number 4. How about a great Beech Speedway round of applause for car number 03 and the veteran campaigner in the VIP Charter Coaches Oldsmobile, Ray Penfold.
As the field is ready for green, starter Eddie Wallace looks over the field and where's the green, and we're on the go. Into turn 1, side by each, 2 abreast. Danny Brown gets the advantage going down the backstretch. Barry Babb pulls right out through 2. Mitch Brown trying to stake it on the inside, but Jay Johnson will have none of that. Keep him on the outside. That slow lane doesn't work good for Mitch. Through turn 2, Danny Brown holds the advantage with Babb right on his back bumper, knocking on the door. As Jay Johnson and Kerry Winslow close up the distance, not letting him get away and high. George Brown and the living the 14 gonna run along with him. Mitch Brown fall way off the pitch, drops way to the rear of the pack. Danny Brown into turn 1 and 2. Babb still hanging on his rear door, unable to close up the gap and try to make the move to the outside as we're single file. Bobby Babb now trying to make a little ground on the back there in the fork. Out the Hannaford gets his car off the track and out of the way. Danny Brown, Barry Babb takes the advantage away down into turn 1. Tries to hang on. Let's see who's got the hook up down the backstretch as they head into turn 3. Babb pulls it almost door to door. Yes, he has a slight advantage, but Brown's got the advantage coming out of the turn, down the chute. Jay Johnson right there, waiting for him to make some kind of mistake. He'll take over that position in a heartbeat. The 04 final falls off the pitch. Danny Brown, Barry Babb, Jay Johnson, Kerry Winslow, George Libby, Curtis Gary, and Andy Lou in the front group. Remember, only 6 qualify for the feature from this heat. Danny Brown doing a fine job holding up Barry Babb as they go around. Flagman 80 ounces. Halfway this time by. 8 down, 7 to go. Danny Brown continues to set the beef on the point. Jay Johnson hanging right on his bumper. I have an idea that Johnson would like to get out of the hole there. He looks like he may have a little more power than Babb. He'd like to give it a shot at taking that advantage. Brown goes wide again. He'll have the advantage. He almost knocked the inside right then. Backing Barry Babb up ever so slightly on the outside. Danny Brown continuing to hold the advantage. Barry Babb one more time. Count up his door handle. Putting the move on. Going into turn 3 and 4. Right up beside him. Cool it a little bit. See if he works to get around him this time through. Hangs right there. Door handle it. On a turn 2. Down the backstretch. Babb is just at ever so slightly advantage. Going into 3 and 4. Brown gets slightly loose. Babb has the advantage. It's the 56 of Andy Lou. Look over there in turn 4. They continue to race. Door handle, down the backstretch. They'll be getting a signal this time by that there's only 2 laps left to go as Andy Lou gets back without losing the lap. Very bad. And Danny Brown. Bumper to bumper. Dead heat style. See if Bath can get the advantage this time by. The leaders look back there. More wholesale changes. Curtis Sherry goes up in the air. Your new leader across the line is going to be Bobby Bath Jr. Caution is out on the field. Caution out on the field. He's unable to refire. Now he gets it fired up and going again. However, we will revert to the last lap under the green flag and realign these cars quickly as our scorers get back to work. Thanks, showing a lot of smoke from underneath that. He'll be watching that, trying his heart out to get that ready for race time, feature time. You can bet he wants to be there when the green flag is dropped. Start Eddie Waltz says the lineup is correct. Hammers are down, they come together in turn one. Green flag is dropped. As Winslow and Brown and Johnson come together, Ronnie Bishop loops it on the front stretch. Let's hope he keeps it going. Arthur Hannaford does a little 360 over in turn two also. Bishop is moving, Hannaford's not. White flag this time by for Jay Johnson in the 19 car, followed by George Libby in the 14. Bobby Babb Jr. in the 4. 1 lap to go this time by. Let's see if Ronnie Bishop is a factor in this race. George Libby in the 14 may put the move on. Yes, he does. Down the inside. Looks like Bobby Babb Jr. may have taken over second place away from Jay Johnson. Followed by Kerry Winslow in the 49 car. Andy Lube in the 56.
Champion of Oxford, Cleveland Kangas out of West Paris, driving the Danny Gould Buick. Let's go! Racing in turn one. Sam Sessions first to get there. Bob Gary comes down to the inside of the racetrack. Then Craig Walker. George Babb works up the outside in car number 13. On the low side, it is John Lazard in car number 27. They shuffle position to the outside. Lap number 1 belongs to Sam Sessions. Obviously, the inside race of the racetrack is the fast way around the Speedway. Right now, George Babb hung out to dry. He's got someone to dance with, though. Tracy Gordon's going to come along to the party with him. Up in front, it is Sam Sessions. Bob Gary is second. Craig Walker is third. Lazard is fourth. Then Ronnie Moon is fifth. And Mike Rowe goes in spot number 6. Rowe on the bubble. Leland Kangas is going to make a nuisance out of that spot going down the backstretch. Rowe on the outside. He wants to work his way up, trying to get him to the front if he can. Kangas is trying to take this qualifying spot away from him. Rowe goes side by side with Leland Kangas down in turns 1 and 2. The rest of the field is single file. George Babb has missed the chassis setup. He's going to be struggling at the rear of the field. He'll have to come back to the consolation round. Here comes the field out turn number 4 one more time, and Mike Rowe has yet to get it dialed in as he tries to work up the outside of the racetrack. Ronnie Moon drifts out. Leland Kangas, there is room underneath. And Rowe almost gets squeezed out of the inside by Tracy Gordon. The Lion was right there trying to move up. Sam Sessions begins to open up a 5-car length lead down into turn number 1. Now the field goes back single file as Moon was able to run just in front of Leland Kangas and get there. It is Sessions first, Gary second, Walker is third, Lazard fourth, Moon is fifth, and Kangas is sixth. Kangas is up out of the groove. He lost it for just a moment. Now Rowe will try one more time. 6 down, 9 laps to go as your leader comes off turn number 2, works down the backstretch. Sam Sessions has added maybe 1 to 2 more car lengths, his advantage over Bob Gary, who stays second. It is a Pontiac, followed by a Chevrolet, a Pontiac, a pair of Buicks, an Oldsmobile, and a Buick. And now Rowe begins to flex the muscle just a little bit. Agent Orange starts to do his thing up the backstretch. He draws alongside Ronnie Moon. Moon quicker on the inside of the racetrack. He gets away by half a car length. Halfway home, 8 down and 7 to go. Sam Sessions has led all the way. Bob Gary maintains spot number 2 down the backstretch. Rowe up. He comes on the outside of Ronnie Moon. Draws even on the back bumper of Johnny Lazard. Here comes Rowe up the outside. One more time in turn number 1. Rowe works the outside of Beech. He takes over spot number 4 down the backstretch. Here he comes up on the outside of Craig Walker, the Butch Craig prepared Buick. Mike Rowe out of turn begins to show the muscle. Sam Sessions has checked the rearview mirror a couple of times. He sees he's got almost a full straightaway lead on the field. But he knows that Mike Rowe, if he gets free, will take off and go hunting like the proverbial hound chasing the hare down into turn number 1. Rowe has taken over spot number 3. He draws alongside Bob Gary. Up the outside, here comes Rowe. Now we'll see if Rowe can start to chase down Sam Sessions. Laps are running down 11 in the first. You want to see the determination of Mike Rowe. Put the stopwatches on now as he wants to see how fast he can go. Here's Sam Sessions. Popsicles takes it up. There is 2 to go. Walker gets up out of the groove. Rowe is second. Gary is third. Moon is fourth. Fifth is John Lazat. Sixth, Tracy Gordon outside. And Leland Kanka, 71 and 17, battling for position. And the position also important. It's the one that qualifies. Sam Sessions, one more. Here comes Rowe. Gordon is up out of the groove. The Lion got the Oldsmobile loose. Down the backstretch, Sam Sessions. Mike Rowe is slowing down. He knows it's hopeless. There's no sense in cranking the engine any more than he has to. Checker flag to Sam Sessions. Mike Rowe, Bob Gary running on side by side. John Lazat and Leland Kangas. The rest of the Oxford drivers will come back to their consolation event as we get set for heat number 2 of Beech Ridge drivers.
Here as green flag flies on the second heat for the Beech Ridge car. Bobby Libby takes the advantage into turn 1 over the young fellow Joe Bowser. Ricky Harrison, the 85 car, coming right along with him. Libby gets a little high. Bowser gets the advantage. Back down the inside. Ricky Harrison pulls right up on his bumper. Waiting for Libby to make his move one way or the other, and then he'll make a decision with the 85 to go in or out. Libby pulls right up on him again. Trying to sneak down the inside. Sonny Lorenzo unable to fill the spot. Rick Zemmler now on the move on the outside row. Zemmler and Bobby Harrison, Bob Bilodeau and Bobby Randall hung out in that second groove, trying to move up around the slower pack on the inside. Joe Bowser doing a fine job on the point. Down the inside around, hanging tight, Nick IROC Camaro. Harrison right on his rear bumper, and Libby, they open up a slight advantage. The top 3 do over the last group as the back of the pack is 2 abreast. Sonny Lorenzo and Rick Zemmler in the 3 and the 17. Zemmler hooked up a little bit better. Unable to get the whole shot down the backstretch though. Now he's at the position, but he doesn't have the handling. Lorenzo right back up underneath him. Now Zemmler pulls it down to the inside. Now we'll see what Bobby Harrison can do in the 37 Miller Highlight Special. He's got a clean shot around Lorenzo now. Let's see if he can make it work. Bob Bilodeau and Randall right on his bumper. As Joe Bowser, Ricky Harrison, and Bob Libby continue to set the pace up front. 3 cars running very equal in an advantage. No one being able to put the move on the other guy on the outside. Harrison, the 37 car, able to get around Lorenzo. Now Bilodeau trying to do the same in the Locust Farm, number 7. Bobby Harrison, the 37 car, wants to get up around the outside of Rick Zemmler now in the 17. Bob Bilodeau has thoughts of shutting the door now, unable to do it. Now comes the Bobby Randall, the 91 car. Multi-feature winner here at Beech Ridge. Bobby Randall putting a strong move down the backstretch into turn 3. As the Johnson boys, that's Paul the 35 and Mike in the 33. 2 more of the real fine, strong runners. Mike Mayetter in the 13 car, last night's feature winner. He's hung out to dry in that inside groove, unable to get around the Lorenzo. Oh, as Bilodeau, 37 Harrison and the Randall cars come together. Bilodeau takes evasive action, and so does the Cusack as they go out underneath. Randall fires the car back up and is running. We will stay under green. Joe Bowser continues to set the pace. Joe Bowser in the Camaro. Bobby Libby in another Camaro, followed by the Pontiac Grand Prix. Randall lap down to the leader right now, trying to unlap himself, hoping for a caution to get back up front. Also trying to sort out the car, make sure everything is all right after the little spin up there in turn 3. Bobby Randall running strong, but unable to get around the leader as they will have 2 laps to go, this time by. Eddie Waltz shows him the old popsicle sticks. 2 laps to go for Joe Bowser. Leading wire to wire, so far. Randall trying to show his strength down the backstretch, get his lead back. Bowser's hoping he doesn't make any mistakes and foul him up. Joe Bowser, Ricky Harrison, Bob Libby in the 34 car. Now he's making a move for this second slot. Bob Libby, door handle, Ricky Harrison into the 3 turn. Slight advantage going through. Let's see who's going to pick it up for second spot. It's Joe Bowser. Oh, close call. You call it. Ricky Harrison and Bob Libby for that 3rd spot. Real tight racing. Rick Zemler and Bobby Harrison. Good, fine race. Heat number 2 in the Rexcott Oxford Beech Ridge Challenge Series number 1. How about a fine Beech Ridge round of applause for Joe Bowser. Green flag is flying. Emerson on the point, has the advantage. Pete Rondow tries to tuck it up in there close. Doesn't want O'Brien to take that spot away. O'Brien down the back chute into turn 3. Pulls it up nearly side by side. Screaming Scott loses the right rear tire and is out of action. Dave Lamprin spins it to the infield. Caution comes out on the field as we have 2 cars that need assistance out there. That's Screaming Scott Watts from Seabrook, New Hampshire. Lost the right rear tire in the 21 car. Dave Lamprin spins to the infield. However, he gets under power. Back to single file. The scorers check out the lineup. Should be going back to the original lineup, minus the 2 cars that the caution came out for. 73 is Richard Pinkham and Scott Watts as we're ready to go racing. Green flag is out. Emerson and O'Brien. O'Brien has the advantage down the front stretch. Pinkham wants to hook on and go along with him. Joey O'Brien, the winner a week ago Saturday night's race, as Willie Elliott and the 21 of Lamprin come together over there. Elliott's got his machine fired, driving off. Too late though. We're back under caution one more time. Green flag is flying. Emerson gets a little loose. Rondow now takes over the advantage. Not quite. Emerson able to hold the pace down the inside. Now Rondow pulls the advantage going into 3 turn. Emerson right back in again. Too much push in the 5 car. Emerson able to hold the advantage as they go through the turns. Mayetta right there knocking on the door with David Pinkham in the 61 car also. Rondow got the power down the chute. Will he be able to tuck it in this time? No, and they touch. They're hooked together. Mayetta's going to come through with the lead. Let's see if they can get him unhooked, or we'll have to have a caution one more time. The 2 cars are locked together, bumper to bumper. Caution is on the field as young Clint Rowell, also in trouble, takes it to the infield. Mission accomplished. This rookie, Pete Rondow, and the Pete's Hardware Special drives away. Hammers are down. Green flag is out. We're back under green one more time. Young David Pinkham has the advantage into turn 1. Mayetta staying around that 2nd groove. He wants to try and make the move. Gonna have to settle down into 2nd. Sort things out and watch how good Pinkham's really doing before he makes his move, however. That's the 4. Dave Alexander takes over 3rd. Screaming Scott Watts out of Seabrook, New Hampshire's in 4th. New engine in that car today. Hanging in there real tough. Pinkham with the advantage down the front chute. Mayetta sets it out into 2nd groove. He's going to try and make his move perhaps this time by. Pinkham will have none of that. Opens up a couple of car lengths down the backstretch. Pete Rondow in the 5 car. He sets it out wide. He wants to go around Dennis Ruskett. Loses the grip. Drops back 2 positions. Willie Elliott jumps underneath him also. David Pinkham, Mike Mayetta. Pinkham now with about a 6-car length lead. Down the backstretch through 3 and 4 turn. Dave Alexander hanging on for 3rd. Scott Watts right there making a move to the outside now. He's going to go for the goal on the outside. No, he had to drop back into position. 7 laps down, this time by Pinkham, still with the advantage. Mayetta, Alexander, Watts, Willie Elliott, Pete Rondow, young Clint Rowell. Hey, that's Phil Pinkham in the 73 today. Halfway, that time by. 8 down, 7 to go. This 15-lap Rexcott heat race for the modifieds. 2,600 pounds of motorized thunder. Whoa, that turned in Pinkham, turned in the track at 14.90 seconds. 14.9 seconds for Pinkham, your leader. Mayetta right there with him, as you can see. Under 15, they really got him hooked up today. Pinkham did not have a good night last night. Think car wasn't handling quite up to snuff, but he got it back under control today. Dave Kudamash and the gang did something right. Third place, Dave Alexander, Scott Watts, Willie Elliott, Pete Roundow. Mayetta come a little closer to Pinkham's bumper now. He's only off a couple car lengths, as they're going to get the signal for 2 laps. And next time by, unable to close the door the way he'd like. Scott Watts being put back in other position by Willie Elliott. David Pinkham, Mike Mayetta, Dave Alexander, Willie Elliott, screaming Scott Watts in the 5 of Pete Roundow, Clint Rowell and Phil Pinkham, Dennis Westcott and Jimmy Emerson. 1 lap to go this time by in the Rex Cup heat race for the modified here at beautiful Beech Motor Speedway. Pinkham and Mayetta, looks like they're going to finish that way. Mayetta unable to close that gap. So it is David Pinkham, Mike Mayetta, both cars sponsored by Eastern Tractor. Great cars, Dave Alexander. They turned that lap in 14.86 seconds, 14.86 seconds. Dave Alexander was 4th in the 1 car, Willie Elliott was 5th. Green flag is flying. Starter Junior Niles says, okay, let's see if we get this show on the road. Dean Turgeon in the 73, the 45 is Scott Robinson. 107 and John Bissonette. Gonna make a move up the outside in turn 3. Let's see if we can complete 1 lap here. They're getting a little hairy-scary down here, the 109 trying to sneak underneath. He's gonna have to back out of it momentarily. 3 wide, that's Ralph Height in the 97 trying it out there on the Angels Expressway. Tough way to go around any racetrack out there, 3 wide, but he's getting the job done. Over the 119, Corey Sandman trying to shut the door on him. 25 car does a 360. All cars are continuing under power. Looking good, the 107 car. That's John Bissonette making his move for the lead. Dean Turgeon trying to hold him at bay. Let's see who's going to get the job done. The 107 has the advantage as they cross the stripe into turn 1. The 49 car now is making a move. Mark LeBlanc up the outside. Up a little bit each time. Gets a little loose down through there. However, back in the power going around Chris Rule as they go through 3 and 4 turn. The 107, John Bissonette with the lead. Opening up a slight advantage now, 2 or 3 cars as we go 3 wide into turn 1. That's the 55 car that's got himself. Look at it. Sneak up the inside. He just picked up about 5 positions. Dennis Quinn in the 06 lost the rear wheel over there. He's got problems. Caution on the field as the wheel is winning the race. Broke the wheel right off at the Baron evidently. We will be getting under full throttle immediately, if not sooner. The hammers are down. The 73 misses a shift or something, gets out of action. 107 on the point of 109, trying to take that advantage away from him. The 73 lost 4 or 5 positions on the go. He's back under full power now and doing fine. So 107, John Bissonette. The 109 of Frank Collins do battle for the point. 45 car having some ill handling problems there. The 45 car, that's Scott Robinson. The 37 just wait for him to make a mistake. Larry Delaney, he'll sneak right in there. Chris Rule trying to rein him in. Here comes Don Tapley Jr. up the outside. And last night's feature winner, Kerry Anderson in the 51. Anderson up. Oh, easy boy, don't be using that bumper again as we do a few 360s over there. Everybody continues to run. Up the outside, Don Tapley Jr., Kerry Ensign, Joey DePeter in the 59 car goes to helter-skelter. The 25 car's out of commission over there. Green flag is out one more time as the 41 car making a move way around the outside. As he's gonna take it high down the inside, outside into turn 1. That's the 41 car is Gene Terrio. He's got a little too loose up there in the marbles, though. 3 wide down the front stretch. They get the 109 hung out to dry. They get the signal. halfway by this time. Halfway by. 107, John Bissonette, the rookie, continues to set pace. Down the backstretch, that's Chris Rule making the move up into second place. Young Chris Rule got the 14. Oh, he's loose. He's going to lose that position if he's not careful. That's a 45 of Scott Robinson trying to climb in right inside there. Don Tapley right on his rear bumper. However, Chris Rule continues to hold the advantage down the backstretch. That's a 35 car trying to make a move also. That's another rookie, Heath Cludier. Last night's winner, Kerry Anderson, the 51. Tucked right in there on Don Tapley's bumper, literally most of the time. That was 21 the winner last night. Kerry Anderson in the 51. Now we got 4 of them. Oh, the 109 is losing liquids underneath his own tires, and he gets slammed hard by the 103 car. The 12 does a 360. Most cars are rolling, not all though. So we have caution on the field one more time. As John Bissonette continues to lead, Chris Rule in second, and a 37 car. That's Larry Delany in third. Green flag, one more time. Chris Rule with a slight advantage going into turn 1.
Well, the leader is still Bissonette in car number 107. Then Rule pushes 1 car length back. Moving up to third in car number 37. It'll be Larry Galanis, and they will work their way off turn number 2 and ride down the backstretch. Car number 15, Donnie Tappan holding down spot number 4. Look on the outside. We had some guys had the idea of working their way up to the front. But once again, coming back up the outside, Ron Baylor.
Now that's Brad Clement. He sold the car just a couple of weeks ago, Bob. You're doing a great job, though. Thank you. That's Don Tapley, Jr. You remember dear old dad, Don Tapley. Ran with you boys for quite a while. Junior decided he wanted to try it down here at the Ridge. 1 lap to go this time by for John Bissonette, now 107. Chris Rule right on his bumper, trying to get the win away from him. However, it don't look like he's going to be able to pull it off. As Brad Clement making a big move into turn 3. He really dumped it in deep, maybe a little too deep. I don't know, is he going to gain that advantage? Chris Rule loses it. Comes across the line 5th, though, in the backwards type position. Chris Rule put a move on it, broke loose on him. It's a 107. John Bissonette picks up the win. Top break for Chris Rule, as he was in second place for a long time. Nearly had the lead on the last restart. Things didn't work out to his advantage.
Congratulations, John. I know it's your year off for a few Fords out there, and you got to be a Ford fan. I'm sure there are some Ford fans in the grandstand, and we don't have a Ford win that often, so you got to feel good from that point of view also.
Oh, I sure do. You know, we used to run a Ford at Oxford. We did well up there. We figured we bring this one down here, and I guess this will do all right too. I don't know. We'll see.
Well, that's great. You know, we have a lot of folks from Oxford down here for the exchange, the challenge race, and certainly nice the way you used to run up there that you can win a feature down here. And we have the folks from Rex Cut and Rob Hurst, and I know you have another gentleman, Paul, who is up at Oxford also, so it's kind of nice that those folks could be here. Rob, nice to have you with us.
Thank you. How are you today? Listen, I wanted to tell my buddy here and Paul Harmon from Oxford that we're really happy that you did such a nice job. You guys are a bunch of nuts out there. Listen, I just want to wish you best of luck in the continuing races. Thanks a lot. Matter of fact, Paul's one of my old Charger. Oh, man. Doing well with it, too. Still going good.
Great job, and congratulations again. Jerry, back to you.
Dale Verrill and Tracy Gordon are side by side, coming off the turn. Let's go racing! Verrill down on the low side of the racetrack. Tracy Gordon stays up in the middle. Jimmy Field is down low. Craig Walker tries to find the bite on the outside down the backstretch. Verrill down low on the Speedway. Off turn for Dale Verrill. Gordon gets a little loose. He'll try to get it down. Obviously, the Oxford drivers are finding that the inside of the racetrack is the way to go for them. Anytime they get on the outside, they slip and slide around the racetrack. It's a problem for them up on the front road. Dale Verrill, Tracy Gordon. He sticks his nose down to the inside, takes a look. There isn't room to get there, but he's got an idea. If Verrill goes out just a little bit, watch Tracy Gordon put the hammer down and jump up on the inside of the Speedway. Greg Walker stranded outside. Billy Penfold works his way up. Remember, they're trying to get to the top four, avoid the provisional starts. They'll have to go to the rear of the field if they do that. Tracy Gordon, he got to the inside, then up to the outside. He's got it a little bit loose, but he gathers it back together and pulls down to the inside. Protects spot number 2 down the backstretch as they ride. Freight train formation from between turns 2 and 3. Now, stay on the low side of the racetrack coming out of turn number 4. Farrell, Tracy Gordon looks out one more time. He knows every time he gets out there, the car gets wishy-washy on him, but he still knows if he can get it hooked up for a moment, he may be able to drive around Dale Verrill. He's taking that spot one more time. This, the 10-lap run for the Consolation event. It's 5 down and 5 to go. Zorro, then the Lion. Then it is Jimmy Field, Billy Penfold, George Babb, and Craig Walker after that. And Gordon got it loose, and everybody backs off in front. They didn't want to get themselves bent up, as we only go halfway in the Consolation race, and this is the last chance they have without going to the non-qualifiers battle. Dale Verrill. He's been to Oxford's victory lane just one time. He did that last year. Jimmy Field got his second win of the season just a couple of weeks ago. Tracy Gordon, the second-year driver, he got his first win just a few weeks ago. And Billy Penfold, he is one of those Gifford Rookie of the Year candidates from the Gifford Ice Cream Company. He has had a couple of good runs this year in the top 5. In fact, one time in the top 3. And for George Babb, he's been winning races around the state of Maine for the last 25 years or so. Jimmy Field has taken over spot number 2. Now, Verrill gets himself a little bit wide coming off turn number 4. And everyone has taken a look underneath. They haven't had time to get there. Starter Eddie Walsh has the white flag is up. One more to go. It'll be 9 down, and the scorers get to write down the numbers just 2 more times. They can get the numbers in the record books. It's one more time around the Speedway. Dale Verrill still up on the point. The Dalrick Construction Company Pontiac Grand Prix. Jimmy Field. This could be a great day for Roe Ford, as John Drew has driven 1 Ford to victory lane. Jimmy Field would like to do the same. Checkered flag, it tells this story to Dale Verrill, Jimmy Field, Tracy Gordon, Billy Penfold, George Babb, and Craig Walker.
Pace car once more pulls down the pit road. Babb holding back. He's on the hammer. Mike Johnson caught napping just ever so slightly. Green flag is out. Babb has the advantage down the front stretch. Johnson, Maeda, and Danny Brown right there with him. Bob Belladu tucks it down to the inside. Let's see if Mike Johnson can find the horsepower. He pulls it up beside him going into turn 3. Mike Johnson, the Pleasant Hill Garden Special, trying to get around the 0 of Bobby Babb, Barry Babb. Barry Babb, Mike Johnson, Danny Brown, Mike Maeda, Bob Billadu, Clint Cusack, Bobby Randall started at the rear, and he's right up there in 6th position already. 7th, trying to take over that last qualified spot from Clint Cusack at this time. The 91 car is on the bubble seat right now. Barry Babb able to open up a couple car lengths as they go through the turns 3 and 4. Mike Johnson wants to set it down on the inside. In the meantime, Danny Brown keeping that hole filled. Johnson's got to find a little more horsepower down the backstretch as Brown is hooked up. Maeda into the wall on the backstretch. Mike Maeda and Randall touch. Maeda into the wall, but able to drive away. Front is wrinkled up a little bit. He'll try to limp it back to the pits and get it ready. Hope to get into the feature through a promoter starter or whatever. Last night's feature winner, not looking too good right there at this point. As Barry Babb sets the pace. Mike Johnson right up beside him, trying to get on the outside one more time. Randall once more under Glenn Cusack. Cusack on the hot seat down to 6th position. Sonny Dorenzo in the 3 car, trying to reel him in. Johnson still trying on that outside, trying to get up around the outside. Leaves too much room for Bob Billadu as out the Hennepin loops it over in turn 2. Pulls it down to the inside of the track, out of the way. Looks like the car is fired. He will be cranking it back out onto the track. Halfway this time by. Bobby Randall drops off the pace, back into that 6th position. He's still in a qualified position. Not handling it as well as he would like to have it. Barry Babb. Johnson looked like he was going to try and put the move to the inside that time, unable to get there. Barry Babb leading wire to wire so far. Mike Johnson, now Bob Billadu puts it to the outside of the Pleasant Hill Garden Special. Billadu trying to pull upside, long side, door handle with the 33 into the 3-turn. Cusack, he's getting strung out there again by Randall. They've been dicing back and forth in that last qualified position. In the meantime, Lorenzo unable to reel him in and take that position away. If he can get up there with him, he might be able to wrestle away from one of them. But Billadu has to settle down into that 3rd position. Surely thinking it may be better than just qualify. However, he has no thoughts of that. He wants to win this race. Puts it out beside Johnson down the backstretch, trying to take over that 2nd position. Has the nose out in front ever so slightly. Johnson right back with the advantage as they come out of turn 4. Billadu stretching it high, going in deep into the turn. Randall now trying to go around Bishop in the 8 car. Randall wants that 4th position. He has it there for the moment anyway. 2 laps to go, this time by Barry Babb, Mike Johnson, Bob Billadu, Bobby Randall, Danny Brown, and Glenn Cusack. Sonny Lorenzo, Dave Lafano, and Ronnie Bishop. Make up your field out there. Bob Billadu struggling to get up around the outside to wrestle this lead away. Unable to do it. Barry Babb holding the advantage, has had the lead wire to wire. Mike Johnson holding off Billadu as best he can. He wants that 2nd position. Billadu coming strong up the outside, unable to get up beside him though. The winner is Barry Babb. Bob Billadu and Mike Johnson, close heat. Looked like the advantage went to Billadu, but we'll let the scorers call it officially. Bobby Randall and Danny Brown. Glenn Cusack was your last qualified car. Brian McClure. And we will be getting the green this time by, and they do have green. We'll catch up to the rear of the pack momentarily, if not sooner. As your leader, 91 continues to set a good pace. Bubba Pelton trying to stick it down to the inside as they touch. Pelton able to collect it. Wayne Poland takes over the lead as the 91 car gets way loose and way off the pace. Trouble with that car. Wayne Poland, the 4 car, opening up a little more lead each time as they move ever around and around. That's a rookie, Bubba Pelton in the, Wayne Poland, the 4 car, the 0-3. Steve Howard trying to collect it. The 13 car, Eddie Glenn, one of the fine older gentlemen out here running. Ran a real strong race last night. Led a lot of laps. The 87, that's Steve Perry, the Prize Variety Special. Spanky Anderson in the 84 car. Bubba Pelton in the 27, dragging a rear bumper. Things are not good in Mount 90. 3 abreast at the back of the pack as the main lubrication. 53 car of Johnson is hung out there 3 wide, trying to do it the hard way in the Angels Expressway. As the Ford of Mike Roberts, he's going to get high, and Barrel's going to go underneath him in the 64 car. Yes, they're going to drop him back a little bit. Mike Mayetta Jr. putting the move on him also. He's back in the Ford upright now. Pee Wee Knight moving to his inside also. Don't work good out there, 3 deep. The 21 car, that's last night's winner, Kevin Gelinas. Robbie Dorr in the 23, Kenneth McLeod in the 28. Wayne Pollard in the 4 car continues to set the pace in this second heat. It's 3:03 is Steve Howard. 13 is the fine gentleman, Eddie Glenn. Steve Perry in the 87, the 66 car is Bruce Smith. To his outside is Spank Anderson, Butch Buzzle, Donnie Moss. Poland in the Atlas Auto Special doing a fine job. Beaver Norton in the 38 car. The 0 is Gary Klopp. Rick Burnett in the 54. Been coming on real strong the last few heats. As the black flag is being displayed for the 91 car, things are not fine for him. He'll actually stage right. When he gets the message, that is. Spank Anderson trying to make his move up the outside, unable to do it. The 66 pulls right away. He has to set it down the inside. The fear that Buzzle doesn't take that spot away from him. Wayne Poland and the 03 of Steve Howard continuing to set the pace up front. Oh, Bubba Pelton in the 27 loops it around. I think he was just trying to tear that bumper off so it wouldn't get in anybody's way. Unable to get the car fired, we have caution to the field. Caution on the track. That's Bubba Pelton setting in an unadvantageous spot right there. Hammers are down. Green flag is out. Howard has the advantage. Let's see if he can hold on to it going into turn one. Poland comes right back up around the inside once he gets the revs up in that engine. Steve Howard had to drop back into second. Now Steve Perry's on the outside in the 87 car. He's loose as a goose, so trying to bring it up into that third spot. Eddie Gallant, that fine gentleman. Oh, Rick Frenette does a 360 into the sandbags in the front stretch here. Rick Frenette in the 54. Unable, he fires it up. You watch him drive off just as we slow him down. Yep, he got it fired up. He took a terrible spin though, did a quick 360 as the boys get off and go helter-skelter somewhere on the ham. Oh! The 3 car just wiped the wheel right off in Buzzell's 89. He also got hit in the front. Buzzell's having a tough luck this year. Was this for bad luck? He wouldn't be having any at all. The bad news bunch from Oxford is here. Green flag! I'm glad someone's paying attention. Thank you, Bob. It's a 0-3. Jumps right out in the lead. Stevie Howard takes it away from Wayne Poland. 38, Beaver Norton climbs up in there. Hey, we haven't seen him up front for quite a while. Stevie Howard in 11, the Budweiser Special. He's running pretty good of late. He's trying to move up into that 4 spot. Around Eddie Gallant in the 13. Donnie Moss right there with him. Beaver Norton trying to get underneath the 4 car. He's going to make the position his. Yes, Beaver Norton in the 38, 39, whatever that is. 38, yes, I knew that. Wayne Poland struggling to hold on to that spot. Unable to do it. Beaver seems to have taken that position away. Steve Howard putting the move on Eddie Gallant into turn 3. Gets a little wide. He's got it too wide. He's loose as a goose. He's going to lose 3 or 4 positions here. If he doesn't collect the wall, he's going to do well. So you got Eddie Gallant, Donnie Moss, the 0 of Gary Clough, that 19 of Brian McClure, the 113 Mike Maeta Jr., Dave Fechtow, and the 68 car Chuck Haynes, all right there in that group. Trying to catch up to this lead pack. Oh, the 75, Donnie Moss got problems. He's going to exit stage right. 0-3, Steve Howard. We'll get the signals from head starter Eddie Waltz this time by. You've gone halfway, gentlemen. Halfway, second limited sportsman feature. 3 wide into turn 1. Chuck Haynes in the 68, a little squirrely. Beaver Norton trying to put a move to the inside of the 0-3 car. Unable to do it as a 0-3 of Steve Howard collects it back up, gets his handling going. The 70 car back in the pack. That's Jeff Morgan a little loose. Oh, he got squirreled around, got touched by Kevin Delinas in the 21. Able to keep them all going. Spank Hansen, Steve Howard, the 11, who was way up in 4th a minute ago, is now fighting for his life in last place. Beaver Norton dogging the 0-3 car, trying to take over the lead point down there. Here comes young McClure in the 19, coming up in the 4th spot, trying to get around the fine gentleman Eddie Gallant. Not doing everything possible to get in that lead pack, lead position on the point. He's working the 0-3 over from the outside, the inside. He tries to tuck it in. But the 0-3 of Steve Howard out of Scarborough have none of that. He's able to hold on. He's got the handling he needs out there in that second groove. Oh, he lost position right there. Beaver Norton takes over the point. Wayne Poland in the 4 car trying to follow him on through. Is able to do the same. Brian McClure in the 19 now is collecting the whole bunch. He's got good line on his fishing reel and reeling them in each and every lap. Beaver Norton, Wayne Poland. Steve Howard in the 0-3. Brian McClure, Kenneth McLeod, your point leader in the 28 cars. Caught up to him now. Coming on strong along with Dave Fechtow in the 78. 113 is Maeta. Pee Wee Knight is coming right along with him. McClure off the pace. It's a 70 car. Spins to the inside. Jeff Morgan, all kinds of trouble in turn 4. Eddie Gallant, the 13 out of commission too. The 72 of Mark Fields sitting there high and dry as we go to caution. Caution on the field. Green flag is out. Beaver Norton and Wayne Poland. Door handle into turn 1. Poland trying to get the advantage back. He has the revs up momentarily. the turns, just pulling this sideways. McLeod a little bit loose. Beaver Norton has the advantage. Here comes McLeod way down low. He's going to put it out 3 wide and try to get up front. He lost 3 or 4 positions. He got squirrely there. The 0-3 is Steve Howard. Right back into second. Dave Fechtow now takes over third spot in the 78 car. Mike Mayetta Jr. Oh, as Eddie Glant in the 13 loses another tire that does exit into the turn down here. Last night's winner, he's got troubles in the 21. We go into caution one more time. Steve Howard also having troubles. The boys are backing on him real quick, some of them are not quite so anxious to do that. Green flag is fired one more time. Beaver Norton, Steve Howard side by side, door handle in the turn 1. Mayetta right there dogging him in the 113. Dave Fechtow in the 78, Pee Wee Knight, Kenneth McLeod trying to collect them in. Chuck Haynes on the outside in the 68, thought he was making a move and he gets it loose. That's the 0-3 of Steve Howard, unable to get down inside and gain a position there. Hold on to his position, I should say. Mayetta fills the hole. Fechtow going underneath him also. Second groove is, as he gets a little bump or something and he takes it out wide. McLeod now right up in there. Mayetta jumps out into the outside groove and he loses position to Dave Fechtow. Steve Howard in the 0-3 is setting up in turn 4. Let's see if he's able to fire it up and get going. Now we have to go back under caution. Head starter Eddie Walsh looking the situation over. Beaver Norton, Dave Fechtow, Pee Wee Knight, Wayne Poland, the 113 of Mike Mayetta. Mayetta's loose. He's able to collect it back up as we go to caution. Unable to get the 0-3 fired and get out of trouble up there. Steve Howard out of Scarborough. Been running strong all day. However, engine stalled, unable to fire it back up as the 70 and the 72. 72 is Mark Field and the 70 car, Jeff Morgan sitting over there in the middle of the turn. Hey, Chevrolet Pace car pulls to the infield. Norton's on the hammer. Fechtow tried to psych him out. Waited too long. Norton really got the advantage. Pee Wee Knight is holding on to that second spot. They got Fechtow hung out there now. He's got to find horsepower. He's either got to go around the outside or he's going to be backing up. He's trying to bring it up. Oh, Wayne Poland way off the pace. Real good running front running machine is now off the pace down to the inside of turn 1 here. Beaver Norton, Dave Fechtow, Pee Wee Knight, Mike Mayetta, Kenneth McLeod. As they put the Wayne Poland car down a lap, he's got lots of troubles trying to limp it back to the pits. Beaver Norton has the advantage all by himself now. Pee Wee Knight, Dave Fechtow battling for position number 2 as we have 2 laps to go this time by. Beaver Norton, Pee Wee Knight, Dave Fechtow, Mike Mayetta, Kenneth McLeod, Gary Johnson. Beaver Norton gets the signal, 1 lap to go. Pee Wee Knight got his bumper tucked right underneath the rear trunk of that 38 car. Dave Fechtow now getting some momentum. He's putting the fight on down the backstretch. Kenneth McLeod trying to suck in there for second and third. Beaver Norton, Dave Fechtow, Norton will have the advantage. Pee Wee Knight, Dave Fechtow, Kenneth McLeod, Mike Mayetta, and Gary Johnson, Kevin DeBias, and the 3 of Lance Graffam round out that top group. Whoa, what a finish, as they say in Milwaukee. It don't get any better than this. For Beaver Norton in the 38 mobile machine. Bobby, did you hear all that shenanigans going on next door?
That lady came into the tower as a blonde and she's going out as the grayest haired lady I've seen in my life.
She's gonna be all right, we promise.
She can't make her mind whether to stay up here and work or go downstairs and give him a kiss.
I think she's gonna get down and say hi to son. Bad rumors going on, but we won't spread them any further.
They gotta check her pass. I bet she doesn't have an infield pass for today either.
Yeah. How about a fine Beech Ridge round of applause for Beaver Norton in the 38 machine.
Well, I tell you, you did a fantastic job. A beautiful day to do it. The Oxford Beech Ridge Challenge. The folks from Rex Cut. We have Bert Damon and Kim with us. Nice to have you with us, folks.
Rex Cut's very pleased to present you with one of our test kits. that contains our grinding wheels, and also with a Rex Cut hat, which we hope you'll wear with good faith, and we certainly do congratulate you.
I know you got some people working hard on that number 38. Who's helping you?
I got Paul, Ricky, Rowan, Boop. The guy, he just had a heart attack last week. He's in the hospital. We're going to go in and see him tonight. And my girlfriend, Paula, and all kinds of people at home, Barry, and all kinds of sponsors. We got Standish Mobile and Mike Kennison, and Roland Junkins, and a lot of them.
Well, you got a lot of happy people, and you're going to cheer up that gentleman in the hospital. Also this afternoon, the Big A Auto Parts contingency goes to the Limited Sportsman feature winner. So again, Beaver, tremendous job and congratulations.
Thanks.
Jimmy Emerson, the 12, has the advantage and the green flag. Dave Alexander in the 4, off the pace a little bit. Joey O'Brien fills the hole to the inside. Alexander stays right out there, gets the hammer down, trying to make it back up around the 44 of O'Brien. Streaming Scott Watts in the F80, hanging on for 4th. David Pinkham dropped off the pace just to Westcar, got the hammer down now, moves it back around. Pete Roundow in a 5-car trying to get, oh, he really dropped off the pace there, something happened. The number 4, Dave Alexander, now trying to climb back up on the outside of Jimmy Emerson. Last year's champion, Rookie of the Year, Pinkham in the 61, got problems in that car, he's way off the pace. Emerson continues to set the pace down the backstretch through turns 3 and 4. Alexander hanging on for his life out there in that second groove, trying to stay off the challenge of Joey O'Brien, the 44 car. Alexander working the hard way around, gets the bite, tries to get up beside Emerson, the 12. Emerson, the rookie, doing a fine job. Here comes Willie Elliott. Second in points. Willie Elliott, second in points in this modified gang. Looking for another win to his credit for 1989. Willie has 3, wants to notch number 4 this afternoon before this fine crowd of fans at this beautiful afternoon. Jimmy Emerson, Dave Alexander, Joey O'Brien, Willie Elliott, Scott Watts, Pete Roundow, Mike Mayetta, Phil Pinkham, Gary Drew, Dennis Westcott, Clint Rowell, and David Pinkham as they stay bunched up side by side down the backstretch. Alexander dropped off the pace ever so slightly here now. O'Brien, he's going to make a move to the outside of Emerson now. Scott Watts will try to fill that hole, try to keep him out there if possible. Scott Watts and Pete Roundow moving up in there. O'Brien coming right up beside Jimmy Emerson in the 12 car. O'Brien has the advantage going into turn 1. Through turn 2, side by side, down the backstretch. Joey O'Brien, the 44, takes over the point from Jimmy Emerson. Joey O'Brien opens up more and more lead. Now that he's out in front, he's going to run away and hide. Streaming Scott Watts in the F80 out of Seabrook, New Hampshire. Got a little nuclear power there. He's going to go on around also. Willie Elliott trying to reel him in. Mike Mander off the pace now. He drops way back. David Pinkham once more got his 61 Coors machine fired up. He's gaining a little momentum again. The 73, Phil Pinkham doing a fine job substituting in there today for his brother. Richard Pinkham won the feature last night in the 73. Handed the driving chores over to Richard today. Gary Drew in the 71 showing a lot of smoke in that car. They had troubles last night. Got it partially repaired evidently, but not the whole way. Joey O'Brien. Dave Alexander in the 4 car, way off the pace, trying to limp back around into the pit area. The Rowell Insurance Special. Joey O'Brien, Scott Watts opening up more and more lead each and every time around. Willie Elliott now putting the move into 3rd place, trying to get around Jimmy Emerson. Joey O'Brien, we're not sure he's just barely going to make it pit road if he's able to do it. Looks like he's coming to a stop over there. Dave Alexander, in the 4 car. Caution on the field as he's unable to lift the 4 car back into the pits. Gary Drew in the 77 showing all kinds of smoke. Joey O'Brien with a slight advantage. Watts trying to take that away from him. Screaming Scott Watts out of Seabrook, New Hampshire. Found a little nuclear power. He better find a little more. Willie Elliott jumped right up underneath it. Phil Pinkham in the 73 is off the pace. Scott Watts has to drop way back in the third. Now Elliott going around. He wants to make this 4 feature wins for him in the #1 Rawl Insurance Channel 1 video special. Joey O'Brien doing a fine job out front. He has 1 win to his credit this year. He wants to make it 2 on the season. Joey O'Brien, Willie Elliott, Scott Watts, Jimmy Emerson, Pete Roundow, Dennis Westcott. Roundow gets out of it just momentarily. Westcott able to get up underneath him. Pinkham coming right along with him with Gary Drew. Drew still showing smoke in the 71 car. Willie Elliott now sets it out wide. He wants to get up around. Watts tried to fill the hole, had to back out of it. Wasn't enough hole to make it go. Elliott trying to jump up on his back door. They're turning the track in 15.04 seconds. 15.04 seconds for Joey O'Brien. Elliott now putting the move. Goes hard into turn 3. Unable to get out beside him though. Trying to psych him out. Wants him to get set it out wide. He'll go underneath. However, O'Brien driving as if he's on a railroad track. Glued right to the rail. Here comes Willie one more time. Goes high up in there as they get the signal from start of 5 laps to go this time by. Elliott had to get out of it a little longer than he wanted. Watts takes the advantage away into position number 2. Elliott back. He got in a little too deep. He had to stay off that hammer more than he'd like to. Jimmy Emerson, Pete Roundow. Now Pinkham trying to move up into 5th place in the 6th place in the Kudamatch prepared number 61. We have a fine battle going back there for 4th position. Is Pinkham now, whatever his problem was, he got it fixed. He's coming back around for 4th position there. Elliott unable to get up beside Scott. Screaming Scott. Gary Drew got all kinds of troubles. Looks like he's going to be pulling it into the infield out of harm's way as things are not hooked up while he had a bad night last night. A little something on the track as O'Brien get a little squirrely there. Scott Watts and Willie Elliott right there with him. Pinkham now in 4th position. Jimmy Emerson 5th. 6th goes to Pete Roundow. 7th to Dennis Westcott with Mike Mayetta trying to take that position down the backstretch as they get the white flag for 1 lap to go this time by. No time to reel in the leaders for Pinkham, but he's going to give it a go. We got a good battle going up front. 3 cars running just about equal, unable to get advantage on each other. The win goes to Joey O'Brien, number 2 of the year. Screaming Scott Watts, Willie Elliott, David Pinkham, Jimmy Emerson, Pete Roundow, Dennis Westcott, Mike Mayetta. Looked like something might have gone askew on Roundow's car as he backed out of it there. Joey O'Brien picks up his 2nd win of the year. All kinds of heat coming out underneath the hood of Gary Drew's car there in the infield. How about a fine Beech Ridge round of applause for Joey O'Brien for feature win number 2 in the number 44 modified. Oh, there's Joey O'Brien back to victory lane in the 44 screen printing special. Screaming Scott blew up an engine last night. Got another engine there. Evidently something going. That looks like water and antifreeze this time around. As we're ready to go trackside to Bruce Elder and the fine folks from Ruxcott Products. Down to you, Bruce.
Congratulations, Joey. Hey. Hey, can you believe it? 2 wins already in this modified division. You got to be a happy young man.
Oh, I am. There's a lot of people I have to thank. Danny Chipman for one, my other half, Lisa, and my brother Danny. I could go on forever, but it's really paid off. They put some hard work into it. The crew, Wayne Smith, and all the guys.
I know it's a fantastic effort. A lot of the folks who perhaps haven't been to Beech Ridge for a while will remember Joey O'Brien from quite a few years back, a top driver in the what we call our A-class division. Then he took some years off, then came back here just a few years ago, and gradually and little by little has come back to the front, and I know the whole family and crew has got to be mighty happy. A nice day to do it, the Oxford Beech Ridge Challenge. The folks from Rexcut, a nice group of people. Again, nice to have you with us. And meet Joey O'Brien.
Hi, Joey. Congratulations. I've got Maureen Pride here to present you with the trophy.
Congratulations, Joey.
Thank you.
starting lineup for today's Rex Cut Oxford Beech Ridge Challenge Series. Standing at the back is number 13, Mike Maeta in the Maeta Construction Eastern Tractor 89 Firebird. Starting in front of him is the 99 of Ronnie Bishop out of Waterville. Next on the grid, the 04 of Dave Lafano out of Portland in a Pontiac Grand Prix. Then we had the 3-car of Sonny Dorenzo out of Westbrook in the Town & Country Motors, Main Street in Westbrook in the 88 Pontiac Grand Am. In the number 2 Coca-Cola Special, Justice Popcorn Machine, the 89 Pontiac Grand Prix, that's Glenn Cusack from Scarborough, shaking hands with Dad on Father's Day. Next on the grid is the number 8 Danny Brown out of Portland in the Pontiac Grand Prix.
In car number 20 out of Wyndham, Maine, driving a Chevrolet, the B&M Sharpening Services automobile will be Craig Walker. And then in car number 18, the Dunn's Auto Supply Buick out of Wyndham, Maine, George Babb.
And next on the grid is the 91 Bobby Randall, the St. Hilaire Brothers Excavating High Torque Engine 89 Buick Regal.
Car number 12 out of Yarmouth, Maine, the Mack Racing Chevrolet for Billy Penfold.
The 33 is Mike Johnson out of Hollis in an 89 Pontiac Grand Prix. R.J. Grundon, Main Parts Machine.
The Oldsmobile number 117, the Young Lion from Strong, Maine, the Gordon Lumber Company automobile for young Tracy Gordon.
The number 7 is Bob Belladou in the Locust Farm HB Hood Machine.
Car number 21, the Ford Thunderbird out of Lisbon Falls, Maine, driving the Roe Ford sponsored automobile, Jimmy Field.
The 0 is Barry Babb out of Wyndham in the 88 Buick Regal, the Country Seafood Babb Wood Contractor Special.
The Verrill Trucking Company, Pontiac car number 2 from Oxford, Maine, number 22 today for Dale Verrill.
The 35 is Paul Johnson out of Hollis in an 88 Buick Somerset, sponsored by Riverside Trail in Winnebago.
In car number 71, the 3-time Winston Racing Series champion of Oxford Plains Speedway from West Paris, Maine, the Danny Gould sponsored Buick Leland Kangas.
The number 40 car is Mitch Brown out of Scarborough in the Rowell Insurance B&G Speed Shop in an 88 Buick LeSabre.
Car number 9 out of Turner, Maine, in the LaChance Drywall sponsored entry, that is Kenny Wilkinson Jr. And the Matthews Auto Supply Emerson Pontiac Buick number 27 Pontiac Grand Prix from Mechanic Falls, Maine, John Lazat.
The 37 is Bobby Harrison from Scarborough in the Mellabia Stanford Construction Buick.
Car number 6 out of Wyndham, Maine, the New Style Sign Company automobile for young Jerry Babb.
The 56 is Andy Lude out of Bedford in the Pontiac Grand Prix, sponsored by Doobie Drywall and West Street Motors.
The Bailey Sign Company Buick, car number 119 from Cumberland, Maine, Ronnie Moon is next.
The 17 is Rick Zimler out of Wyndham in Disco 89 Pontiac Grand Prix. And the 49 is Kerry Winslow out of Livington, another 88 Pontiac Grand Prix, American Glass Souls Insulated Glass Company sponsored car.
Car number 60 from Oxford, Maine, in the Hills RV Sales, Slender U Pontiac, Ricky Jimmy Brackett.
Number 34 today is Bob Libby out of Gorham in the 87 High Rock Camaro and the Forest City Chevrolet Libby's Guide Service Machine.
The Brunel Builders Chevrolet from Freiburg, Maine, in driving car number 77 this afternoon, Bob Gary.
The 19 is Jay Johnson out of West Buxton, sponsored by Johnson's Garage. It's a Pontiac Trans Am.
The Bard Industries Buick car number 83 will start next in the grid. It is Rod Fry from Cumberland.
The 85 is Ricky Harrison out of Freeport in the 88 Pontiac Grand Prix.
Agent Orange is next on the grid. The former Oxford 250 champion and 5-time Winston Racing champion of Oxford Plains Speedway from Tournament in the O'Connor GMC Buick, Mike Rowe.
The number 4 car is Bobby Babb Jr. out of Wyndham in the Bob Babb & Son Wood Construction Hall Implement Company 88 Buick LeSabre.
A rookie lines up in the next position. He's from Farmington, Maine, in the Farmington Sunoco Oldsmobile car number 88 and Jeffrey Taylor.
The number 1 is Joe Bowser out of Scarborough in a Chevy IROC Camaro, sponsored by Maine Linoleum and Peking Garden.
The winner of the second qualifying event for Oxford Plains Speedway entries in the Moosehead Furniture Pontiac from Norway, Maine, car number 02 for Sutton Sam Sessions.
Outside pole today is the 14 car of George Libby out of Scarborough and the Raleigh Agency, Mayetta Construction, Pontiac Firebird.
And starting pole this afternoon in the VIP charter coaches, Oldsmobile car number 03, the many-year veteran from Yarmouth, Maine, and Ray Penfold.
As 40 of the finest late models you want to find in the state of Maine, lined up ready to do battle for 50 laps, $1,000 to win in this Oxford Beech Challenge Series #1.
A race that many people have talked about for several years. Everyone said, I wonder how it would go, and nobody had the idea that, hey, let's just do this thing and find out. And one day, Tony DePalma and Bob Libby said, you know, why not? Let's try it. Mike Liberty and Ralph Cusack got together. They thought it was going to be the greatest ideas for Maine Motorsports. Everybody realized there was going to be a flaw or two in the system in the first year, but things are looking good. The drivers seem to be quite happy, and I think by the time we get ready to go racing here in just a couple of minutes, everybody will cinch up the seat belts, buckle things up. They're ready to go. They've got their game faces on, and I think we're going to have an exciting one before this one is all finished.
Who's going to pull off the victory? Will it be the hot guns of Mike Rowe and the likes of Bobby Randall, or will it be some of the less likely guys? Now Penfold picking up the pace ever so slightly. Libby's on the gas hard. The green flag waves. Libby has the advantage. Bowser going right along with him. The Beech cars take the point and go with it. As Penfold is holding up that inside row. Now Bobby Babb Jr. up the outside around Joe Bowser. Jay Johnson making his move around Penfold. How many of the Beech the Oxford cars have got their move on to the outside? Here comes Rowe. He's quite near the front to start with this. Sutton, Sammy Sessions, squarely in turn 2. Down into 4 turn. That's George Libby, Joe Bowser, Ricky Harrison. Bobby Babb Jr. takes over the 3rd spot. Jay Johnson, now Sutton Sam trying to get around the 03 of Penfold. They're holding the hot shoes back as meanwhile the top 5 cars up front take off and open up a sizable lead on the back of this pack. Now Sutton Sam dumps it down to the insides of 34. Bob Libby goes around. And here comes Mike Rowe.
Mike Rowe will now run in spot number 8. He's going to chase Libby and Sessions.
Let's see who the next Oxford car is to break out of that pack and go along with him. Rowe goes down to the inside of Libby. He's trying to put the move on the 34 car. That's a Jerry Babb car. The 6 car is off the pace, riding around the inside. Rowe tucked right in behind Sutton Sam. Bob Libby on the outside. Got that field block. In the meantime, George Libby up front. Still on the point, holding down the lead with Joe Bowser, Ricky Harrison, Jay Johnson, and Bobby Babb Jr. Ronnie Moon now has broke away from that 3rd pack. He wants to climb on up and reel in that next group.
Those front 5 cars are starting to get away, led by George in car number 14. Then it is Bowser. They are obviously the .2 cars. Bobby Babb rounds out the top 5, and now the 34 trying to get around Sammy Sessions. And while they're doing that, Mike Rowe has to patiently wait for all of this.
Bobby Babb Jr. in the 4 car, he's making his move. He wants to climb to the top of the heap. He's putting the move on the 19 car of Jay Johnson. Door handle out of turn 2, down into turn 3. Side by side, Babb hanging right on his doorstep. They've got Mike Rowe hung back in there. The Sutton Sam car a little bit loose. Mike trying to find a way to get around these guys. He'd like to break out of this pack before that lead pack gets too far away from him. Bobby Babb up almost around Jay Johnson's car. Now takes over that 4th spot. Johnson all in the mid-bay still. Now he'll be able to tuck it down in there if he wishes. No, Johnson fills that hole one more time. Babb didn't take the hole when he had it. Rowe able to get out to the outside now as Bob Libby has gone by. Now we'll see Rowe put a move on Sutton Sammy Sessions.
Rookie Jeff Taylor is off the pace. Car number 88. He'll be dropping down to the inside. He'll probably visit pit road momentarily.
Taylor goes down the lap to the leaders as they motivate single file. That's George Libby, Joe Bowser, Ricky Harrison, Bobby Babb Jr., Jay Johnson, Bob Libby, Sutton Sam, and Mike Rowe putting the move for the Oxford cars. Coming on strong now. Ronnie Moon right there behind Bob Bilodeau in that 3rd pack. Oh, as Jerry Babb loops it in turn 4. The leaders get out around safely. Babb is up on the 4th turn. He seems to be running. The leaders continue the swap positions, and we have a caution flag. Caution is on the field.
something let go under Jerry Babb's automobile. He had dropped off the pace, and then all of a sudden, as he was coming down into turn number 3, the fluids came out of the bottom of the automobile, and that obviously made the shakeups. Now that may be a break for Jeffrey Taylor, and we'll tighten this field back up, and that's what's going to make this race interesting.
John Lazat getting some checks there under the hood. They've been doing some checking, putting the pins back in. Gonna send him out right now. He'll get out ahead of the pack.
Jerry Babb in car number 6, the Chevy Eurosport bodied automobile, is back down on pit road. I'm not sure, apparently he has made his stop. He may be pitted at the upper end, and he'll wait as the infamous Lollipop Man will bring him to a stop down on the inside of turn 2.
Things are going fine. We're about ready to go back to green flag racing. The lights are out on the pace car with 12 down, 38 to go. Eddie Walsh looks him over, gives him the green flag. Bobby Babb and Jay Johnson right on their rear door. Ricky Harrison getting a little squirrely. Jay Johnson gives a little up tap. George Libby able to hold the point down into turn 3. As the front 5 hang right together. Sutton Sam a little bit loose on the outside. Rowe hanging on to the front group now. Rowe will stay right with him. You can bet on that. Jay Johnson gets really loses it. Has to get way off the throttle. Drops out of the top group. Now Ricky Harrison in the 85 putting on a strong challenge to the 14 car of George Libby into turn 1. He has a fender out in front. Let's see if he gets hooked up coming out of 2 turns.
Bob Libby is right there. Mike Rowe is right there. And then breaking up the outside is Bilodeau one more time.
Bilodeau looking strong right now as he comes up around the outside. He's got that guy hooked up today as he goes around Rowe on the outside.
Turn 1, Jerry.
Sutton Sam, Dale Verrill, Timmy Brackett come around. The 9 car gets into the side of Verrill as the car slow. Kenny Wilkinson in the 9 car tapped the Dale Verrill machine. Let's hope they're able to drive out. Looks like Wilkinson is crunched in the rear of that a little bit, Bob.
They've got obviously some rear damage to Kenny Wilkinson's automobile, some front end damage to Dale Verrill's automobile. And Verrill, obviously you can see the front end is locked up in. It's not going to turn for him. It'll be record service for both of those drivers. And once again, caution will tighten the field back up. Dale Verrill is doing. Verrill, the right front tire is down. The wheel isn't turning. They've got some serious problems on the automobile, and once they get in there, the crew, they can see that basically I think it's all over for the day. Leland Kangas, obviously, with that collector pipe gun, you know, it's going to be a different sound, a different sensation, a different smell to it. Working on the outside, Ricky Harrison, not that bad out there. Then it is Bobby Babb, Bob Libby, and then Agent Orange, Mike Rowe.
Bobby Harrison as the green flag is about to come out. Libby gets the advantage that time. He was on the hammer quick. Babb tucking right in close, trying to hold Ricky Harrison at bay there. Harrison right back up beside Libby. Has the advantage going into 3 turn. Has the whole wheel out in front. Let's see how the handling works as they come around. Side by each. Harrison has, he loops it for the whole pack. Libby and Harrison. Harrison able to keep going. Ronnie Moon going off. And Paul Johnson. No, that's Bob Bilodeau. Caution on the field as Ronnie Moon winds up in the sandbank. Judge Libby is out of action here in turn 1. He gets it fired up. Ronnie Moon took the worst of that whole mess. He went head first into the sandbank.
He was up high, and he is down hard into the sand down in there, and the safety crews are quickly on the spot.
And as the Pape Chevrolet Camaro comes in, the hammers are down for Libby and Harrison. As they come, the green flag is out. More debris flies out from somebody. We're not sure what that was. George Libby has the advantage into turn 1. Harrison pulls right up beside him one more time. Has the nose out in front ever so slightly into turn 3 and 4. Side by side, door handle down the front stretch. Harrison has a half a car length lead going into turn 1. Harrison sticks the nose out in front, unable to get the whole car up there and take that position. George Libby driving the wheels off of the 14 car, trying to hang on for his life. Harrison now has a full car out in front. Let's see, is he able to pull into that point position? Yes, he is. Now Bob Libby is out there trying to get that third spot away from Bobby Babb Jr. with Mike Rowe right on their back door, knocking. Come on, fellas, let me out of this hole, because you know Agent Orange wants to go. Bobby Babb takes the position away. Bob Libby had to get off the hammer just for a second. Now, Bobby Babb Jr., he's putting a lot move on Bob Libby. Mike Rowe tries to close the door up the inside. Babb gets a little loose. And extends a little advantage. The 07 way, Mike Rowe able to fill that spot. Second groove is not the easy way around this track. Heavy traffic, the lap flag is being shown to a few of the leaders. Oh, Kenny Wilkinson in the 9 car having problems. He's got a flat rear tire on the right rear. He'll try to limp around and get into the pits and get repairs done to that car and keep going. The boys in motion for him to come through the infield, and he notices it and does the same. In the meantime, Ricky Sylvester in the 85 car, Ricky Harrison opens up a tremendous lead up front. Ricky Harrison, Rowe is now up into 3rd place. Harrison, Libby, Rowe, Babb, another Harrison, Bob Libby, Glenn Cusack. Let's see if Rowe, it's a lead Oxford car, as we have someone in trouble over in turn 1 here.
Barry Babb and Bobby Randall has spun, and it's caution one more time down in turn number 1. They got together, they bring up the caution for the 3rd time this afternoon.
John Lazat on pit road one more time. Andy Lude in there. Barry Babb going down pit road. George Babb has the 18 running strong, going again. Kenny Wilkinson not having a good day today in that number 9 car. Ricky Harrison and George Libby. On the point, the hammers are down. Eddie Wall says, yes, gentlemen, green flag. Mike Rowe trying to shut the door on Libby. Will he be able to do it? No, Libby dumps it down to the inside. Bobby Babb Jr., now he's making a move up the outside, trying to get up beside Rowe. Rowe would like to get out around Libby and get going. Rex Sylvester, Josh Libby, Mike Rowe. Mike got the hookup coming out of 2-turn that time. Babb's right there trying to close that door, keep him hemmed in. They don't want to let this guy out. He's as dangerous comes when he gets a little bit of break and that car gets loosened up. This man will be headed towards the front even further. Down the backstretch, Ricky Harrison coming out of 4-turn has opened up a sizable lead. Continues to pull away from the field.
Coming up about halfway, Jerry. Next time by, 25 down, 25 to go.
Harrison now with about a 20-car lap advantage. George Libby hanging on there for his life with Mike Rowe, the master, right on his bumper. Trying to get that car loosened up, trying to find the secret to make that move a little faster. He doesn't like to see a leader pull away from him like that, Bob.
Obviously, he is going to be able to get out into the turn so much quicker. The rest of the field running as a group are going out a little bit slower, so that's going to be a big advantage for Ricky Harrison.
Mike Rowe going a little wider each time down the backstretch, trying to get the RPMs up all she'll give him. Wants to get up around George Libby. As Jerry Babb in a 6-car today. Something is detonated inside that engine. He'll be pulling it in pit road. Going behind pit row is a big puff of smoke. Tough break for Jerry Babb. The Bobby Randall machine still with all kinds of trouble. Still in pit road. Obviously, he's out of it for the day. Bobby Harrison in the 37 car doing a fine job holding off the charge of Bobby Babb Jr. in the 4 on the outside. Glenn Cusack in the Coke number 2 right there hanging on to the back. The Coke machine is hanging on to the back of the Miller machine. So for you drinkers and non-drinkers, you get Miller and Coke right bumper to bumper.
Mike Rowe now starts to make a move. He's on the outside and living off turn 4.
Rowe going in deep. He seems to have the advantage. He said he'd hung around long enough. Has the advantage going down the backstretch. Has the car out in front.
You can bet Butch Gregg has set that chassis up to get loosened up a little bit, and as soon as Mike feels that the chassis is the way he likes to have it, he'll begin to go. And I'll tell you, when Mike Rowe is a determined race car driver, when he wants to go up near the front, he's going to make a run if he can at it. Rowe is the man that is chasing him. This one is going to get interesting in just about 10 laps.
In the meantime, Bobby Harrison in the 37 trying to hang on for his life out there. He gets a little sideways. Bobby Randall back into the race in the number 91 car. Mike Rowe praying for another caution now as we have 33 down and only 17 to go. Plenty of time for the master Mike Rowe to reel him in. Well, I don't know. That's an awful lead Harrison has out front.
The big question will be when they get into the lap traffic, what happens to Harrison then? Does that aid Rowe or is it Harrison's advantage? a lot of things can change when you get lap cars coming up, and they are quickly approaching several.
And Robbie Harrison, the brother to Ricky, the 37 car, staying right with Rowe. He's staying at that same distance. He's waiting to hang on to that front pack too. Ricky Harrison gaining each lap on their lap traffic. Kenny Wilkinson in the 03 of Bill Penfold. Ray Penfold. Harrison will find out where he's working best in traffic. There's trouble on the backtrack. Bowser down through the infield. Jimmy Fields got the whole back of that car smashed in back there. He missed pit road, unable to pull in as Bowser and Field roar right down around the inside. Field will try to dump through the infield right here, I believe. Somebody got into him back real hard. He's going to limp it around and try to get way back to pit road. He's got a long ways to go, but he is still running. The field continues under green as Harrison's riding his way through. In the meantime, Rowe has gained a lot of ground on him. There's the break Rowe was waiting for. Caution comes out as Field is dead in the water here on the inside of turn 1. So that great advantage that Harrison had started to fade away in traffic, and now the caution comes out, Bob, and Rowe is going to be right there. Now we're going to see a great challenge go on. They're ready to do battle as the pace car pulls down pit road. Started really well, looking him over. The boys have got the hammer down already. Rowe is loose. Yes, we have green. Ricky Harrison, Bobby Harrison, Len Cusack. Mike Rowe got hung out to dry right then. He got a little loose. Spun the tires on the go. Green was dropped. Now Rowe's got to challenge Barris and her brother Bob right on his bumper. Let's see how we do now. That outside groove not working very good. Mike Rowe backing up. Unable to get the bite he needs. Got a tough job once he gets them tires working again. Rick Harrison, Bobby Harrison, Glenn Cusack, Paul Johnson, Bob Libby, Bob Bilodeau, Mike Johnson, Mike Rowe, Kerry Winslow, George Libby, Tracy Gotton, Sammy Sessions, Mike Mayana, Bobby Babb Jr., and Bobby Gary. Ricky Harrison continues to set the pace. That outside groove is working terrible for Mike. We hope he gets them tires and that frame stretched out and gets that pump going. There's a guy you can bet he's mad by now. He's going to set in and cool them tires for a minute. And then you can believe as soon as he gets set in. But he's only got 8 laps to make his move. That's not probably time enough with what's looking out in front of him there. As Ricky Harrison continues to set a fast pace. Ricky Harrison and Bobby Harrison. Tracy Gotton in the 117 car. Your second Oxford car in the field, followed by Sammy Sessions. Ricky Harrison continuing to set a good pace. Brother Bobby Harrison hanging on, but unable to get up beside him or make any moves. Joe Bowser comes to the inside. 5 laps to go this time by. 5 to go. Ricky Harrison has to hang on for his life for 5 more laps. Joe Bowser down the infield. He's going to probably retire the car. Now Mike Johnson, the 33, trying to gain a couple positions. He gets to the outside of Bob Bilodeau. He'll try to get hooked up and gain a couple spots. A lot of money up front in this race. Payoff is good. It doesn't drop back too fast. Ricky Harrison, Bobby Harrison, Glenn Cusack, Paul Johnson, Bob Libby, Bob Bilodeau, Mike Johnson, Mike Rowe, and Kerry Winslow. Pulled away from the rest of the pack. The lollipops are up with 2 laps to go this time by for Ricky Harrison in the NE Construction Special. And Bobby Harrison, the Miller Highlight Special, followed by the Coke Machine of Glenn Cusack. The Riverside, Winnebago, and Trailer Side. Number 30. Oh, and Craig Walker takes a terrible tumble over in turn 1. All kinds of cars going everywhere. Mitch Johnson, Danny Brown. That's the 12 car of Billy Penfield. Craig Walker was almost right upside down in midair. Took a terrible tumble. I'll tell you what, a lot of credit goes to these safety crews. It's so good to see Craig Walker climb right out of that car in a hurry like he did, because he really took a high flying barrel roll. George Babb back at the back of the pack. Barry Babb still out there. Bobby Babb Jr. still out there. Jerry Babb, I guess the one that's had the bad day today, he's had to park it in the infield. That's the paper. Chevrolet Camaro is in. Green flag flies as Ricky Harrison has the advantage on brother. Then Cusack the Deuce trying to fill that slot. Keep the 37 car at bay. He's able to do it. Down the backstretch. Glenn Cusack in the 2. Fills the hole for the second spot. Bob Libby hanging. Oh, caution. One more time as we have trouble again over in turn 2. That's Timmy Bracken pulling away. And Jeff Taylor having some trouble over there. That's the Pape Chevrolet Camaro. Once again pulls it down pit road. The Harrison brothers have the hammers down, ready to do battle one more time. Green flag is out. Glenn Cusack right on the rear door of Ricky Harrison. Shut the door down on the 37 Miller machine. Bobby Libby gonna try to do the same. Popsicle sticks are up. 2 laps to go. This time by for Ricky Harrison, Glenn Cusack, Bob Libby, Bob Harrison. Harrison trying to get up beside the Coke machine one more time. Bob Libby shutting the door on him. Sneaks it down the inside. Mike Johnson and Mike Rowe coming up that inside. That outside groove is not working at all. 1 lap to go. Kerry Winslow in the 49 slides into the infield. However, we are on the last lap. You'll see no caution as Maeda and Libby and Sammy Session get into trouble over there along with Kenny Wilkinson. Checkered flag for the 85. Ricky Harrison, Glenn Cusack, Bob Libby, Mike Johnson, Mike Rowe, Bob Harrison, Bob Bilodeau, Paul Johnson, and the rest of the story. How about a big round of applause for Ricky Harrison in the NE Construction Special. Here comes our winner, Ricky Harrison out of Freeport in the NE Construction Special. Let's hear it one more time for Ricky Harrison.
Congratulations, Bobby. It's never over till it's over, right? And you were thinking that, I'm sure, coming to that checkered flag the last lap. Been kind of a tough luck guy, but today it was a good day for you, and we're happy to see that. The Rex Cut folks are here with some nice hardware for you.
There you go. Congratulations.
Bobby, I hope this turns a corner for you. It's a good race to score right up in the top 3, and again, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
See if we can grab Glenn Cusack as our second place finisher, if we can get Glenn over here. Congratulations, Glenn. You had to break up that Harrison 1-2 punch, and you did it very successfully. I don't know what a few more laps would have meant. What do you think?
I don't know. I'm pretty comfortable where I finished, I guess. Harrison's been running real strong, both of them, for the last week or so, and I had my doubts whether Bob was going to go back or not. He's been running strong today, and but geez, they did a good job. So
they sure did. Again, the Rex Cut folks here with the goodies for you.
There you go. Here's a catalog, and congratulations.
thank you. Thanks a lot. I'd like to thank the Rex Cut people for sponsoring today. I know they're new to this racetrack and all, and I hope to see them back next year.
Great job again, Glenn. Good job. Come on over here, Ricky Harrison. Congratulations, Rick. That was a hard-fought race. You've had your share of tough luck this year, a lot of running up front and then a lot of calamities along the way, but today you put it all together.
Well, I tell you, I got to hand it to my sponsors and my crew. They've worked super hard this year. We've had quite a lot of bad luck, some my fault and others was racing, but we've managed to put the car back together, and I tell you, I got a hard-working crew and a lot of good sponsors.
Fantastic. And a nice group of folks with us, the Rex Cut people, met Ricky Harrison.
There you go. You from Pownell, huh? Got relatives over there. Congratulations.
Again, we're just beating the rain by just a very little bit, Rick, but a tremendous way to start for you with this Oxford Beech Ridge Challenge, and just a fantastic job.
Thank you, Bruce. We appreciate that.
Okay, we're going to send it right back up to Jerry Major and Bob Walker.
Thank you very much, Bruce. Folks, thanks for coming. Remember, you're all invited down on the track afterwards. We hope you've enjoyed your stay here at Oxford Plains. And be sure, if you'd like, the track will be open to go on down and meet the drivers, get some autographs, look over these fine machines.
Move over, Thursday Night Thunder. Here comes Sunday Morning Lightning.
We're going racing!
It's Channel One Video Speedway. From green flag to victory lane to the unexpected. Channel One Video brings all the action to WMUR TV Channel 9 every Sunday morning at 6:30.